that gusto garden in the other hour. But I was telling Alan before, my mother-in-law really, like especially in Austria, she grows blackberries and raspberries and strawberries. And, you know, when you go to the market, they taste like nothing. I don't know what's happening, but because of, you know, the shipping and the freight and all this stuff, like they're not picking it at that peak time. So imagine getting the one-piece ever-bearing, perennial, year after year, thornless blackberries that are so delicious and sweet. And if you've never had blackberries off the vine, or, you know, like there's nothing sweeter. Like it's so delicious.
Warmed by
Can you
the
imagine?
sun, delicious and juicy, yes.
Mother Nature. Okay, talk to me about these.
Okay, so first of all, the berries are big and juicy.
Yes.
They're delicious.
Yep.
And it's got so many other things going for it. So it is disease resistant. So it doesn't pick up diseases of the other, we call them canes. Those are the stalks that other canes may get. So you don't apply any sort of pesticides. So you know what you're growing is organic, you know how you treated it, and you can feel safe that no chemicals are used on it.
Oh, that's important. Yep.
It is self-fertile, which means you don't need 2 different plants for the bees to pollinate it. You just need one. The pollen on one plant is enough for the bees to use it and set berries. And it's a breakthrough because typically blackberries only bloom and fruit on second-year growth.
Yeah.
So you get one kind of shot at blooming and berries. But these actually flower and fruit on first-year growth and second-year growth. So 2 waves of berries come in, so it's pretty much nonstop berries from the middle of the summer up until the fall. Big and juicy and delicious.
Yeah. And it also comes with a really big pot, right?
Right, that's about a 1-gallon pot, so you're
Yeah.
getting a good size. You're getting a lot of roots in
And
there, a
look at
lot of
this.
energy.
They're already coming
and berries too, so you'll have berries if it comes like this soon after you get them. So that you can see they
Everbearing.
start green,
Yeah.
and then
Look at this
they
pot.
turn red, and then they'll get big and juicy and black and delicious.
You mean like this? How many times have you gone to the stores? And these are probably, at least depending on where you shop, there's a store called Whole Paycheck. And they're like $7 or something. And I was like, okay, I'm walking out. And they are tiny little plastic containers of blackberries. And they are full. And then you get them home. And within like a week in the refrigerator, I don't know what's happening, but seriously, they're like moldy. And, you know, like half of them are destroyed. And it's just like every week I buy these and they're so expensive.
It's
right?
so true. I mean, they get
Imagine
moldy
this.
and they go bad really fast. And,
Yeah.
you know, you have to eat them right away, and it's so disappointing. These you can pick your own at your own pace.
With your kids.
With your kids, with anybody, you go out with your little basket. So you have to wait until they have turned to that black color. They're black and shiny. And then they need to be a little soft, and they need to pull off the cane very gently. They need to just pull off with just a little tug because they don't ripen anymore once they've been picked. So once they've been picked, that's probably why they don't taste as good.
No.
When you buy them, they were picked at the wrong time.
Yes.
So you're going to pick them at the peak of their ripeness, and they'll be delicious. And you want to pick every few days. So I pick mine every 2 or 3 days.
Oh, breakfast?
And that will keep them coming. Yeah, so breakfast.
Oh, with a little yogurt.
And if you have an embarrassment of riches and you can't eat them all at one time, just throw them in the freezer in a Ziploc bag.
Exactly.
And
then
you can use
could
it for smoothies.
Your neighbor would be so happy as
you
you
can
share them,
yes,
right? Right?
yes.
But this is so different because they're ever-bearing. How tall or wide will this tree go?
So this
like
is going to get
plant?
about 4 feet tall.
This is a 4 foot?
Right, so this is a small guy.
And it goes like this, okay?
Yeah, well, it kind of grows upright.
Not like a strawberry, yeah.
Right, so it's going to be tall, and it is thornless, so you don't, if you did have to stake it, which you don't, you wouldn't be hurt by the thorns, which it's always annoying when you're trying to pick something to be bleeding while you're, picking your berries.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So,
some of them are thorns, okay?
These do not need staking. They will kind of grow into a shrub.
Okay.
So you don't need to stake them, and they'll be well behaved. And
what does staking mean?
Oh, so staking is if a plant needs support, if you don't want it to blow
almost
over.
like a tomato plant.
Right, or you want it to grow upright. So if you didn't stake a tomato plant, it could just grow on the ground, but you want to stake it upright. So stake it so it can grow
and
upright.
this one doesn't need staking at all.
It doesn't need staking, it's firm. I actually bought one of these last year, and I did not know what to do with it. I buy plants and then I don't know what to do with them right away. So I put it in a container, and it has sprouted. It has new leaves on it, so I'm expecting more berries this year on the big canes I have now, and then new canes coming in.
Are those the flowers?
Those are the flowers. So the bees will pollinate them, and they'll buzz around.
Those are
so
beautiful
it's a great
flowers.
pollinator plant. It is. One little trick
Okay.
is water them when they have flowered, if you're not getting a lot of rain and when they're producing berries. So if you're not getting about an inch of rain a week, give them a good drink. And it's a good idea to also mulch them to keep the moisture in and keep the weeds down.
But can we just look at these blackberries? Can you imagine having blackberries from, by the way, if you just have an apartment or a balcony, right? You could put it in a container, like you said,
totally.
as much sun as you can,
If
right?
you could give them 6 hours of sun a day, a nice sunny balcony, you could grow fruit on your balcony. They look delicious.
Can I just show them how big that one is? Look at this.
It's a whopper.
Plump and juicy blackberries straight from, this is going to be 4 feet of blackberries, and it's everbearing, thornless, and perennial. That means year after year after year. And 2 seasons, like you said, of fruit. I love that.